I thought all my careful planning was being upset, but I was to learn things weren't being upset, I was being set up for higher purposes. It's the 28th of August, 2020, and this is Thomas from Mundo with this week's Friday Focus on Faith. I had set aside the afternoon to take communion to the homes of senior citizens. Armed with my Bible, communion kit, and list of appointments and the times each was set up for, I prepared to leave my office right after lunch for my first stop. But I was interrupted by someone as I headed out the door and started out 30 minutes later, already behind schedule. Well, the first call went well, and I drove on to the second. Someone I had visited before in one of several look-alike apartment buildings in a retirement village. I had pulled up, popped out of my pickup, jogged up the walk, climbed the steps, popped through the first floor front door, approached the door of the first apartment, which, as always, she kept open. Popping in, I called out, "Dora, it's Pastor A lady appeared, but it wasn't a Dora. I'm sorry, I said, please forgive me. I must be in the wrong building. They all look alike, you know. But don't I know you? Yes, she said. My sister attended your church. I came with her often. And you shopped at J.C. Penney when I worked in the men's department. Well, I apologized again for my intrusion and started backpedaling toward the door when she said, before you head on to where it is you're supposed to be, would you have a few minutes? I told her I did. I guess I lied, because after all, I'd gotten off to a half-hour late start. But she pointed me to a chair, and then she blurted out, "I'm having an awful time, Pastor. My sister is very ill, you know, and I was over at her place all morning taking care of her. And then over lunch, I stopped by the care home to see my husband. He has Alzheimer's, and he doesn't even remember who I am. When I got home just a few minutes ago, I sat down, cried, and prayed, Lord, I know you care, but could you please send someone to help me? Otherwise, I think I'm going to lose my mind." Well, we went on to have a good visit. She talked, I listened. I talked, she listened. We prayed, God listened. After, as she walked me to the door, thanking me over and over, she said, "Pastor, when you came in, you apologized for being in the wrong place. But you know what? I think you are exactly where God intended you to be. You were the answer to my prayer for him to send someone." Isn't that just like our Lord? That would look to me like a late start, and then my stupidly stumbling into the wrong place had all been arranged by a God who delayed my departure and misdirected my steps to get me where he wanted me when he needed me there. Indeed, a God who had been arranging things all along, so that by the time she walked in the door of her apartment and prayed for God to send someone, the answer was already on the way. He's one mighty good, mighty God, isn't he?